So this is a question which is based on the limiting reagent concept. In a simple terms, what I want to say is that about the limiting reagent is this concept is like, it is like a recipe. See, if you want to prepare a tea, if you want to prepare a tea, if you want to make a 1 cup of tea, right? What is the requirement? Maybe some little amount of the milk, some little amount of the water, right? And some sugar and some tea powder, right? You are going to put it in the required amount. In certain ratios, you are going to put that so that there is a good tea which you can prepare, right? Just the way because it is there in a stock, you are not going to pour everything. Let's say there is 2 kg of sugar, then tea powder, maybe 1 kg. So you are not going to pour it is just the way because it's there, right? So limiting reagent concept is similar. Just the way because the number of moles is supplied, everything is not used in the reaction. It will get used like what is required. For example, let's take the concept, let's take this example. The question asked is, there is a 2 moles of HCl, and 1 mole of zinc, right? ZnCl2 is given and H2. See, there is a balanced chemical reaction. This is a balanced chemical reaction. Now, balanced chemical reaction is like a recipe, right? In certain ratio, you have to add those ingredients to prepare certain food. Remember this. See, I am using the word recipe. It depends upon it depends upon you how much you want to prepare, but the ratio of the ingredients are going to remain same, isn't it? So here, according to the standard reaction, if you want to prepare a 1 mole of ZnCl2, then you should be adding 1 mole of ZnCl, 1 mole of Zn reacting with 2 moles of HCl. Then you are going to get 1 mole of ZnCl2 and 1 mole of hydrogen gas. This is what the concept is. Now, it is also said that limiting reagent is the one who controls the yield of the reaction. Means one who is in the less amount will control the yield of the reaction. See, the concept is very simple. If you want to prepare a tea, just assume that you are having let's say just 1 cup of water and 1 cup of milk, right? Rest sugar is 5 kg and tea powder is something around 1 kg, right? Maximum amount of the tea that you can prepare. You are just having 1 cup of water, 1 cup of milk. See, maximum amount of the tea by mixing milk and water you can prepare is just 2 cups. Although other things, the sugar and tea powder is in excess, okay, you cannot prepare more than 2 cups of tea because your ingredients, that is other ingredients, that is tea and water are in less amount. So tea and milk and water are in less amount. So this milk and water which is in less amount, they are going to decide the yield of your product. So in this case, yield is tea, right? So coming back to our chemistry. So according to the standard reaction, what is said is that 1 mole reacts with 2 mole to give 1 mole of ZnCl2 and 1 mole of H2. Coming to this, here what they have said is that if 0.3 moles of Zn reacts with 0.52 moles of HCl, then which is incorrect regarding this? See, what is this value? 0.3 and 0.5? It is like something which is supplied to you. Just the way because it is supplied, you are not going to use it everything, right? You are not going to use everything out of it. You are going to use it in that particular ratio only. That is what is the concept of the limiting reagent. So coming back to this question, so I'll write this reaction here, zinc and 2 moles of HCl forming 1 mole of ZnCl2 and a hydrogen gas. So according to the standard reaction, if this is 1 mole, if zinc is 1 mole, then this shall be how many? 2 mole, right? If this is 2 moles, if zinc is 2 mole, this should be how many? 4 moles, right? then only you are going to get a required amount of the product. Means in this case, you are going to get 1 mole of ZnCl2. In this case, you are going to get 2 mole of ZnCl2. In same way, 1 mole of hydrogen, 2 mole of hydrogen. So it depends upon what is the ratio. Here in this case, it is 1:2 is the ratio, right? So this is 3 mole. So this should be how many mole? 6 mole. Now remember, this is the ratio in which the reactant are going to react to give you a certain amount of the product. Now what is supplied? So I will just write over here, I'll clean this thing. So this is something which is from the standard equation, ratio is 1:2. Something which is supplied, what is supplied to you is zinc is 0.3 mole, zinc is 0.3 mole, and this is 0.52 mole. This is something which is supplied. How much you will be using? How much you will use from this? Just the way because it is supplied, you are not going to use it everything, right? You are preparing something, right? So it should be in that certain ratio only, isn't it? So just take an example over here is that if this is 1 mole, then this is 2 mole. Now you tell me you are using this, let's say you are using 0.3 mole, then how much this should be? The question is very simple. This should be 2 times of this, 2 into 0.3, which is equal to 0.6. Now, is it 0.6? No, it is not 0.6. The something which is supplied is not 0.6. So you cannot use this, means you cannot use 0.3 of this because 0.6 is not supplied only. I will have to do it other way. Means if you are using this, okay, this is not working. What I'll do is, if this is 0.52, then how much this should be? See, if this is 2, then this is 1. Means what? Half of this. So 0.52, then how much you will be using? So how much you will be using? So 0.52 divided by 2, that is 0.26. So if you are using HCl as a 0.52, then you are using this whole 0.52 moles you are using. Then how much you will be using from 0.3 mole? It is just half moles of this, that is 0.26 moles, right? How many moles are remaining unused? How many number of moles are remaining unused? So here 0.3 minus 0.26, so 0.4 mole is remaining unused, isn't it? Right? 0.3 minus 0.26 is 0.46. What about this? You are using it totally, right? So you are using everything 0.52. So here 0 amount of HCl will be remaining. So it's simple, you know. Like I gave you an example initially of how if you are having just 1 cup of milk and 1 cup of water and something around 4 kg of sugar and 1 kg of tea powder, everything is getting consumed, like all the water, like what you are having is just 1 cup of milk and 1 cup of water, that is totally getting consumed up. This is something which is in excess, right? That is the analogy we can use. So here the limiting reagent is the one who is getting consumed up totally. Limiting reagent is always the one who will get consumed totally. So in this case, which is the limiting reagent? HCl is the limiting reagent because it is getting consumed up, isn't it? So which is incorrect? They have asked which is incorrect. So option C is correct, right? HCl is the limiting reagent. So this is not the answer. We want to find which is incorrect. What they are saying is 0.26 moles of ZnCl2 is formed. Now the yield of the product. Now coming to the yield of the product. Who will decide the yield of the product? One who is in less amount, that is going to decide the yield of the product. So here, who is deciding yield of the product? That is HCl. Means what I can say is that I can relate it this way. 2 moles of HCl gives from the standard equation 1 mole. Why I am relating this to this? 1 mole of ZnCl2. 2 mole of HCl gives 1 mole of ZnCl2. This is from the standard equation. Now the question is, how many moles of HCl over there? 0.52. Why I am not relating it to the other that is 0.26 moles of Zn which was used, because that is not the limiting reagent. That is not going to control the yield of the product, right? So this is 0.52 mole of HCl will give me X mole of ZnCl2, right? So by doing simple cross multiplication, what I am getting is 0.52 divided by 2, which is equal to 0.26 moles, right? So 0.52 mole of HCl is going to produce 0.26 moles of 0.26 moles of ZnCl2, right? So 0.26 moles of ZnCl2. Okay, this is also correct. Now second thing is 5.82 liter of H2 at STP is produced. What they want to say is that again about the hydrogen. So let's again do a simple thing. So from the standard equation, how much hydrogen is produced? This is the limiting reagent. This is the limiting reagent which decides the yield of the product. So 2 mole of HCl yields how much? 1 mole H2, isn't it? So 0.52, no? Yeah, 0.52 moles of HCl will yield how much? X mole of H2. Again, I am relating this with HCl only. The reason is it is a limiting reagent, right? This is limiting reagent. So X will be is equal to how much? 0.52 divided by 2, which is coming to 0.26 moles. Now they have written something in liters, right? 5.82 liter at STP. At STP. 5.82 liter at STP. Since this is a gas, so 1 mole has how much volume? 1 mole has 1 mole of any gas occupies how much of volume? It is 22.4. Now you tell me, if it is 0.26 mole, then it will occupy X liter. I will just write this, right? So therefore X will be is equal to how much? X will be is equal to 22.4 multiplied by 0.26, right? So X will be is equal to 22.4 multiplied by 0.26. I think that answer should be coming to this is 0.6, means 1 by 4 we can write, approximately 1 by 4. Divide this by 4, 11. So yes, answer will come approximately to this. Yeah, exactly to this 5.82. Yeah, no, we can do this like 0.26 is close to 1 by 4, no? So 1 by 4 is 11, and this is 5 point something. This is going to come 5 point something. So 5.82, this is also correct. What is the incorrect statement from this is that, okay, let's solve this also. What they are saying is 0.2 mole of zinc is left. Initially, when I was explaining the problem, there also I have told you that how much is remaining. It is not 0.1 mole, it is 0.04 mole of zinc is left. So this is the incorrect option. Means answer for this is option D. They have asked for an incorrect option.